Massive fire has been raging at a Ukrainian oil depot. You can see it on my shoulder there, on the outskirts of Kiev. That's been happening now for the last 24 hours nigh on. And the authorities say it's going to take them now, they estimate, at least another day to put it out. Almost all of the tanks there, that storage facility, have been destroyed. 3 are still burning. Intense heat from the burning fuels preventing firefighters from even getting anywhere near them. The blaze triggered a series of explosions at the storage facility, which reportedly killed up to 4 firefighters. And so you get an idea of the drama there close to it. It's been very hard for crews to get close to it, but these are the latest live pictures from as close as they can get to that oil depot. You can see a huge black pillar of smoke rising. The camera is several kilometres away from the site. It's been cordoned off now for security reasons. Over 60 firefighting units are currently there, and the Army's on standby too. The blaze happened nigh on 24 hours ago, Monday. Investigators suspect an electric motor malfunction they think could have been to blame for the start of it all, but the company that owns the depot hasn't ruled out arson, they say. Here's what eyewitnesses shared with us.
Ужас, видим ужас. Сзади просто видно был взрыв. Машины черные, пятна истинные. Не знал, куда просто бежать. Никто ничего. Кто даст? Кто может, собирается вот сами. Особенно детей вывозят.
All right, let's cross live to our correspondent in Ukraine, Ilya Petrenko. Hi, Ilya. Is the fire still out of control? Is it under control? It's still difficult to say, isn't it?
It is still out of control. Moreover, I can tell you that we just got an update from Ukrainian officials. They're saying that there's still a threat of more explosions. And actually, most of the efforts of the emergency teams right now are aimed at stopping the fire, preventing it from spreading around the site of the blaze. So what they have done is basically they cut down all the trees nearby to make sure that the fire doesn't spread onto a nearby military facility and also a gas storage site. Now, that is a main cause for concern, because if that does happen, there is a potential threat of a detonation, and then the consequences of that can just be unpredictable. Of course, this area is just dozens of kilometers away from Ukraine's biggest city, Kiev, which is, of course, the capital with its 3 million inhabitants. As you were saying, this blaze has been raging for over 24 hours. It has engulfed an entire fuel depot, and all of its 17 fuel tanks have now been destroyed by the fire. The firefighters, it's an extremely tough night and day for them. We saw that their water jets are actually very small compared to the size of the blaze. Now, sometimes they need to just run away and back off because of these explosions. The numbers for the casualties there are conflicting reports over the numbers of casualties, but the Interior Ministry has confirmed that one firefighter has died while trying to put out the fire there. We've seen ambulances on fire, also fire trucks. Now, for the journalist crews and also cameramen, it's now very difficult to get there because, for obvious reasons, it's just very dangerous. The area has been cordoned off. But even from afar, eyewitnesses are saying that the scenes are absolutely shocking. Here are some of the details that a Ukrainian journalist shared with us.
There's a black cloud above us. There's been black rain here, black water falling from the sky. Black smoke can be seen from several kilometers away.
Now, speaking of the possible reasons for this blaze, the company that was operating this fuel depot is saying that an arson attack could have been possible, but the Ukrainian officials have ruled out the version that a terrorist attack was behind this blaze. Now, if we look at this whole scene from Kiev, on social media, on Twitter, pictures have been popping up. The residents of Kiev are taking pictures of their skyline, and we could see this mass of smoke and these black clouds descending and just basically spreading over the skies over the Ukrainian capital. These images could also be seen from the NASA satellites. Those images are also available online. So this whole thing is not over yet, and we'll be keeping you up to date on the situation near Kiev with this terrible blaze.
Yeah, OK, thanks for that. And just to just tell our viewers there, those pictures we're seeing of the drone, just to give you an idea of the scale of it, that's in juxtaposition with what you're saying there. There's probably, by the looks of it, no longer any of that left, or not much of it anyway. All right, let's take we'll come back to you later, earlier, thanks. Let's take a look more closely at the dangers posed by the fire. Experts warn that dangerous particles released into the air could affect people's health and even cause cancer. They also say that a potential gas tank explosion at the site could send smoke high into the air, spreading pollution around the globe. The blaze is just 40 kilometres, 30 miles or so from the capital, Kiev, a city with 3 million inhabitants. We spoke to a British scientist who says the situation is more than serious, he thinks.
It looks like it will be a significant environmental health problem. These fires like this, these oil fires, produce carbon nanoparticles, and they produce contamination with a lot of cancer-producing substances. We know that these carbon nanoparticles, the PM10s and PM2.5s, are very small ones. They cause inflammation, which leads to heart attacks and strokes within about a week of the exposure. The Ukrainian authorities will also have to deal at some point with the contamination of the water supply, in my opinion. You know, they'll have to monitor that and see that that's okay, because these are quite nasty substances.
I spoke to Bob Parkin. He's a UK-based fire safety consultant. He explained to me why extinguishing a blaze like this is so extremely challenging.
Well, the problem is that it's the fuel that's on fire. The tanks are probably burning from the tops. The tops can collapse in these situations. So what you've got is a huge container full of oil, which is burning at the top. And that creates several problems for firefighters. The first thing is, if they can drain the tanks at all from the bottom, that's a good idea, but it may not be possible to get close enough because of the radiated heat. So if that's not an issue, then the only other options are A, to let it burn out, which is not desirable, and B, to fight the fire with foam. The problem with fighting the fire with foam is that with this type of fire, you would never attempt to start to put the foam onto the fire until there are sufficient foam stocks immediately to hand to complete the job. If you don't complete the job, then the fire will grow back.
More pictures as they come in, more eyewitness accounts, as well as the latest developments can be found on our site, rt.com.